All right, team, what's going on? I just want to step in and I was on a panel this weekend or this week, and it was just tons of value. And some of the questions they had asked me, I was like, hey, this is just something I want to share with my group. And what it came back to was just mistakes that business owners make. And while the panel was doing their thing, man, I was just writing away with tons of information that I wanted to share with you all. So I think number one is when we look at just some mistakes that we make as business owners is not knowing our audience. So when I ask people like, hey, who's your customer? A lot of folks said number one answer is always, well, everybody. No, not everybody's going to be your customer. So the first mistake I think people make as or business entrepreneurs make is trying to be all things to everyone and trying to talk to everyone. And when you're talking to everyone, basically you end up talking over top of the people who actually need to hear your message and are looking for you and looking for your products or services. So just remember, know your audience, do some very good research. I can help you with this, is making sure that we do some due diligence to put in who our actual audience is. Not everyone's going to be your customer. If you're trying to reach everyone, you're going to connect with no one, and that's what I had wrote on my notes I was as I was teaching my little part when it got to me for the Q&A. The second thing I think is drowning in inefficiency, and what I mean by that is we're spending too much time on the tasks that we're not good at. We're trying to the example I always use, and most time when I'm coaching somebody up on small businesses, they want to do a website. Well, I don't want to pay for that because it's a $1,500 or $2,000 bill. Last thing I want to do is pay for that because I don't have the money. So I'm going to take hours and hours of my time to try to develop a skill set because, GoDaddy or whoever might make it look easy. And what I think that's the example I would give you with building off of that is just how much that is costing us, because when you're the entrepreneur, we're going to start this business based off of something that you're really good at and a problem that you solve. And the first thing we do is step into an area that you're not good at. So I think just stop wasting time on the things that we're not good at and outsource those. Um, and the first thing that always comes back is, well, Jeff, I can't afford that. And I go, well, when you approach those expenditures, is look at it like this: not what it's going to cost you, what it's going to make you, and what it's going to make you in time, what it's going to make you in revenue over time, what it's actually going to make you, and not what it's going to cost you. Meaning, if you're trying to learn web development and it's pulling 40 to 50 hours out of what time that we should be selling, calling, following up, cooking, whatever that might look like that brings your business the most money, I think that is something I would really take a hard at, is focus on your efficiencies, outsource your inefficiencies. So, again, social media is one that comes up. It's like, if that's not your thing, fine, hire it out, get somebody to create the content for you and get it scheduled. But don't get bogged down. Use AI. Use AI as a great tool to help you create your social media content now. So it's your voice. I can show you how to train everything up on your voice so your brand is very relevant, but we get something that we can move off of your plate. Every hour doing the wrong task bleeds time away from your strengths. So just think, are you the bottleneck? The third thing that I pointed out to the group was ignoring your numbers. And just in a lot of small business startups and a lot of folks that are just going and maybe in their first year, they may have been stumbling their way through money, but there's this disconnect between them and money itself. And they're afraid to look at their numbers. Just sometimes it's the complexity of how banking has there's a lot of industry terms and a lot of jargon that folks just don't know or they're not in tune with. So just finding what numbers are important to you, and like I broke it down to the group, is money in, money out. Is you don't have to be an accountant. If you connect with me, I got just some simple tools that I use on how to create what we need to track each month to make sure that your business, and here's what I'll tell you, is I teach people how to track these daily, weekly, and monthly, and then obviously yearly. But just doing a quick 30-second to a minute quick look into your money each day really puts you in tune with your numbers so you know where that money's going. Yes, it's scary. Yes, it's absolutely can give you those cringe moments, but it's where we get better. We get better when we're uncomfortable when learning things we don't, but just being able to know those basic and numbers that are important to you is you don't have to be an accountant. We just need to know the basics. So, what it costs to run your business, which profit actually looks like, and what levers you need to pull to improve. And I think the last thing that I put on my list was time management. Is most of the time what I run into when someone's stressed and they're all over the place is because they're not doing a good job um, of their time management. Great examples. I'm recording this video. I had a pocket of time that I was like, I need to get this done. So I used some of my downtime that I had to get this video done. So just maximizing our time and using a calendar to basically put you where you need to be. And when you're at home, it gives you the opportunity to be at home, so you're not stealing away from your family time or your time. And then when you're on task, we're on task. We're not trying to do family time while we're on task. There's interruptions, and it can happen, but most of the time you don't have a time problem. You have a priority problem. It's just how you prioritize your calendar. Time management is not about being busy, y'all. And it's also about knowing what your time is worth. When you look at your time and how you're managing that, go back to the second thing that we talked about on your inefficiencies and your efficiencies. Is that's where we lose time. Is is making sure that you put a system in place that's going to maximize your calendar availability, time blocking when we need to get stuff done. So like from 7 to 9 in the morning is get stuff done on my stuff, and then from 10 to 12 maybe working on other projects. But using your calendar as your friend, I didn't know that, and I learned that within the last 3 to 4 years. Someone sat down with me because I was getting overwhelmed. They were like, Jeff, you need to start managing your calendar better. And when they said that, I was like, well, that sounds easy for you. Show me. So if you need help with that, definitely don't suffer in silence. What I would tell you is some things you can do is write down your top three revenue driving activities. Track, go for a week or 3 days. Do this for 3 days. Is track where your time actually goes. Just take a hard breath. If you got a pen and a paper, just journal it. At the end of the day, just go back and look at it and find those pockets of time where you're losing time in either inefficiencies or I'm way guilty of this, is you find I end up talking too long or I'm goof off time. And then eliminate, delegate, and automate anything that doesn't align with you. So hope this helps. I was really excited because that room got me going on just things that I hear when I'm coaching business, and just reoccurring problems that we have, and everybody's kind of got something. So hope this helps you. Definitely reach out for me if you want to continue the conversation. Comment below, or just go over to my website, 𝐿𝐿𝐿_Robertson.com, and shoot me an email. Let's schedule some time together where we can walk through it. Thanks for being here.